Welcome back to Houston Life. Stranger Things is one of the most popular Netflix series. I'm a fan. Local actor in season 4 of the sci-fi show plays one of the members of the Dungeons and Dragons group called Hellfire Club.
His name is Grant Goodman, and he joins us now to chat about what it's like being part of a global phenomenon. Welcome, Grant. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. You too.
22 years old, from just down the road in Bellaire. And we're going to retrace your career steps and your schooling steps in just a bit. But when you started shooting Stranger Things, I mean, this must have been exciting to be cast in this series. And this show has blown up. It truly is a global phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, it was so monumental and the honor of a lifetime. And I booked it, and then we got shut down on my very first day for COVID for 9 months, and then we picked back up like 9 months later. So I had a booking high, if you will, from being on the show for like 9 months straight. It was awesome. Can't wait to like go do something, and just sitting there, and I had that to look forward to, which was pretty thrilling. You
know, let's just take it back a few, because were you always interested in being an actor, or when did this happen for you?
Yeah, so I when I was very little, I went threw away a lot of different kinds of shoes: soccer, glass blowing, pottery, hip hop dance. Like
You were trying to find
I was seriously trying everything. My dad, really wanted to be my coach for something, so I was like, okay, sure. And I wound up being Friar Tuck in Robin Hood at Main Street Theater, and I agreed to that. Being Jewish, I thought Friar, I was like, oh, cool, I love mozzarella sticks. Like, I'd be a great friar.
Friar?
Yeah,
like you're gonna
that's what I was
things.
thinking. I was like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna be making mozzarella sticks in a
Dream
play.
come true.
Yeah.
Great, now I want mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
So were you disappointed when you showed up to rehearsal and realized that wasn't the case?
It turned out pretty well. So.
It all worked out. Hey, back in 2006, when you were a wee child, James Gunn's film Super, this was your first sort of big screen role. Tell us what you remember from that.
So it was in the scene, one of the scenes we filmed, I was having a nightmare, and Jesus Christ was climbing on my ceiling, and people can't climb on ceilings, so they shot it upside down, and I was strapped on a bed in the ceiling, and they shot it looking down, which for me, I was like, wow, they really think of everything. And then in another scene, I was peed on, and it was pretty cool. I had fake piss running down my face, and I was like, sorry, Dad, I'm never playing baseball. Wow.
There's always the role to be the mozzarella stick friar. I'm just saying, that can happen someday. So let's talk about Stranger Things, because when did that come about? And I know, when you heard about the audition, how did that happen?
So it was February 2020, and I wound up reading for Gareth, and then I think it was the very next day I was offered this role, and I was like, oh, this is exciting. It was pretty cool. It was awesome getting to have a bunch of memorable interjections and facial reactions, and my nickname amongst the fan community, well, there's a few, but Nuclear Reactor is pretty funny because I had a lot of memorable which is pretty exciting to be memorable in that way without having a soliloquy that really made an impact. So that was an honor.
Also, the fans for Stranger Things, this show, again, can we say it enough? It's a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
You have so many followers from around the world. You just recently participated in a Comic-Con event over in Liverpool, England, and I know you have a fan event coming up in Paris. Talk to us about this fan reaction, because the fans must go crazy when they meet you.
Yeah, it's awesome. So it's quite surreal. It was the one in Liverpool was my first fan appearance. And they either treat you like the filet mignon or like a cow. Like, people will either walk up and just take a photo of you from afar like I'm an exhibit, or there are people that are trembling and crying to meet me when my whole life has been, people at bars walking up to me and being like, I loved the campaign, can we get a photo? I'm like, yeah, sure. So that's definitely a different dynamic, but of course it's so, impactful to have these people look up to me I changed their lives, and they're huge fans of mine, and that's still quite surreal and such an honor.
Yeah, and just doing a deep dive here, because when we're talking about the Hellfire group, in the show, they are a bit of an outcast, right? And if you haven't seen it, there's this, it's sort of like the athletic guys and the popular guys against y'all. And so this is something that so many people can relate to, because we're rooting for you the entire show. And so I think maybe that's where people have that connection, where they want to be you, or they are a version of you.
Yeah, it's really quite an honor. I think we were the #1 Halloween costume this year,
For
which is
sure.
awesome. So that was pretty exciting, getting to see like how much we've inspired all these people. Like, we had such a memorable impact, you know, between the 2 or 3 episodes we were in. Was pretty exciting.
And Grant, you've stayed so busy. You also appeared in Netflix's Mo this year, which was a huge show. So many actors, they spend their entire careers hoping to be noticed, hoping to have that career-defining role. Or maybe they do a cool indie film that everybody loves but nobody sees. You've been in the situation where you've done this show that so many people have seen. So how is your bucket list charted for the rest of your career? What's still left for you and your goal list?
I would definitely like to do quite a lot of comedy films. I would like to do. I'd love to guest star on all kinds of shows. I'm totally equipped and trained to do drama, so that would be exciting. Horror, sci-fi. Definitely something challenging would be exciting too.
And how great was it to work on Mo with Mo Amer and
It was
film it
awesome.
here?
He's great. I ran into him at Anvil on Westheimer, like in
way.
like June, and he's like so nice. What a great guy. He always we always message on Instagram.
So
Congratulations, and yeah, he's great.
We love Mo. He's been on the show several times. Well, Grant, it's great to meet you, and I know your career will take you all over the world. Have fun in Paris.
Thank you so much.
We'll be watching for you.
Yeah, come back and say hi.
Yeah,
anytime.
I'd love to. Thank you
Great.
so much.
Stranger Things is streaming now on Netflix. For a link to connect with Grant, swing by the Scene On section of our website, houstonlife.tv.
He's going to stay very busy, I have a feeling.